Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. So, we're going to revisit the RGSlide really quickly today. Um, we got some grips from Etsy. Now, this is not my RGSlide. I went ahead and got rid of my RGSlide. But the sponsor of my channel picked up grips for his slide to try and deal with the ergonomics of it, the weight imbalance of it, and try to make it overall a better handheld. Now, a lot of people out there that have the RGSlide also run into the same issue. It does not feel great to play on. Now, there's some people that are just diehard, love it. It's the best thing in the world to them. That's great. I'm not one of those people. I got the slide, I opened it up, and I just could not play on it for very long. It just doesn't work with my hands. So we got some Etsy grips, which these were bound to come out. So let's see. I think that's it. Like that's, yeah, it doesn't slide any further in than that. And they're kind of shaky. So closed up, perfect. Closed up, weight's balanced. You just can't do shit like this. Opened up, we are still very, very unbalanced. It's still very, very top heavy. Everything leans that way. The person that did the grips did try to think it through. You still got access to everything. This is the only part that kills me, is getting to the power button kind of sucks. So, but you got the volume. Volume down's kind of a pain to get to. It does give you this little gap to kind of rest your finger on, which just feels weird. It makes you feel like L2 and R2 are down there, but they're not. And it's really floppy. And I've tried to press it into there. It's got to be sitting on something else, because, you know, I mean, hell, the power button's lined up, so it's as far in as it's going to go. Even though we got this little clip that looks like it should rest right here, it just doesn't. So, yeah, it's in correctly. Let's play on it a little bit. Get some volume. Oh, wow. I immediately pressed right here for R2. Get some more volume. We're just playing some PSP, God of War. I keep hitting start. I don't know. I guess it's slightly more comfortable. Slightly. Because as it tilts forward and tries to pull that way, these are resting against the palm of your hand, so it kind of balances that out. I don't know. It feels like the grip for this, I mean, it's a big bump out right here, but it just does. And every time you tilt it, it feels like the whole thing's gonna fall out. Like, it feels like it should be deeper than that. I mean, it's a big knobby grip at the end for the palm of your hand, but where your fingers are resting in here, it's just a slight little bump out. And see, my hands rest right there, and it's just not as comfortable as it looks. The texture is not bad. This little grippy texture on the back, that's okay. I don't know about this. I don't think we're there yet with grips for the slide at all. Now, I was worried picking up some grips like this would change everything for it and I would regret getting rid of my slide. I don't. I still don't. You know, it's a sad thing. It's one of the handhelds I was looking forward to the most. And I don't mean this year. I mean the most. Period. PSP Go, like pure emulation device. I'm with that group that wanted it smaller, a little more compact, you know, a little more PSP Go-ish, and less just big, chunky slide. You know, I get the idea behind the slide. I understand why it's as big as it is. The screen makes sense after you get it. The size makes sense because of the screen. It has its uses. It's just uncomfortable as hell. And I don't think that problem's going to go away. I mean, somebody out there that is really good at designing shit in a 3D printer, you need to make, like, think the 406 or the 405 406V, how they got the big cutouts at the back to really grip it. We need that. And weight, a little bit of weight in here. You know what I mean? You get a little bit of weight in the grips. It'll balance that out really well. Better placement for your fingers. And this has got to go away. This has got to be either cut down or completely flush, or, you know, so you don't feel like there's buttons here. And if you're going to put a little clip at the end, it's really got to sit in there better, because that makes me really, really nervous. I mean, it is just in there. I mean, once you do that, hell yeah, it's still shaky as hell, but if you had buttons left and right, that would be all right. That would be a good handheld. How do I get this out of here? Okay, so yeah, it was sitting fully in there. I mean, they do have this, is that felt? Like a felt padding back here to keep from scratching it, and it's all the way up on there. It's not perfectly attached right there. Let me get the camera to focus. I don't think it will. You see how you can see through it? So they ran the felt up, they just didn't cut it right, so it doesn't really rest. I wonder if that's what's stopping it. It's not my grip, or I would take a knife and cut along that seam and then push that back and just attach the felt to the top. So, Dub, if you're watching this, that's an idea. Cut across here, push this felt back, because it's really tight right there. I'm wondering if that's what's keeping the handheld from sitting in. So, I mean, they cut out some good vent holes for it. Yeah. And I've always liked this design for the fan. So just don't ever do like a Retroid thing and put some dumbass design on the lid of something that makes no sense. But I mean, without the grip, it's actually just so much worse than I thought, than I remembered. So the grip does help a good amount. I don't know the shop, but just look around Etsy and I'm sure you'll find these grips. Did he put a logo or a mark? He did. I just don't know what that mark is on the grip. So, not awful for the first one. And like I said, I think cutting that felt will make it sit better. And if that actually clips up over and makes this more stable in there, it'll just feel, well, less cheap, a little more solid, but it's still not going to fix the overall ergonomics and weight distribution. It'll still be really top heavy, and this only makes it, I'm going to say 10% more comfortable. And, you know, since I'm the one deciding, I can arbitrarily pick whatever percentage I want and say that's what it is. Man, I really wanted to like this more than I do. God, just smaller, you know. And we don't even need, well, no, never mind. I was going to say we don't need L2, R2, but we do. I want to play PS1 games on it. We only need one stick. Max this shit out at like an H700, man. You don't need active cooling, just passive will work. I mean, you don't need that much in it. You can make it a lot smaller. Go 16:9 with it, make it a little bit wider. Give us like the RG Cube back plate so we got nice grips to it. Oh, that would be the one. That would be clean as shit. Too bad this didn't do it. I really think this is being prevented from sliding in there over that felt. So I'll just let you know in the comments when I get this back to my sponsor if he cut that and then that sits better, because it does not want to clip in there. It does not. So, and I don't want to press on his screen. But once he gets it back, I'll let him cut it. If it works out that way, then I'll tell you guys, because I'm sure the person that made this, you know, printed it up, stuck that felt on the back, and they probably have to do quite a few of these, you know. Hopefully their shop, this really worked out for them. They got a lot of orders, but that needs to be fixed. So maybe this is just that one-off that he, oops, normally cuts that. He didn't cut it, so now it sits funny. All right, we're going to end this real quick with one more thing. And I meant to show us at the beginning to get it kind of out the way, but I was too excited to talk about the grip. We have an exploded RG35xx. Check that shit out, guys. I'm gonna move the camera around here. Oh wait, I don't want to touch my camera because it's, you know how that thing's gonna do. It's already sitting kind of tilted. Okay, you want to be a bitch? Yeah, it does not want me to do anything. It will not let me adjust. Okay, all right, camera. All right, I'll stop. So this guy left his RG35xx in his car along with his Pringles, which, oh, those are the bagel ones. Those, no loss there. Those are fuck nasty. And then he's got like that Bahama Mama sausage, pickled sausage right there. But at least that's cooked at this point. So you know what I mean? It's, I'm sure it tastes more like a hot dog now. Now what happened? And immediately, my sponsor sent me this on my phone. I looked it up. But he said a guy's RG35xx, that's me messing with the camera, his RG35xx exploded in his car because he left it in his car, windows up, on a hot day. I didn't even see the picture. I immediately responded with the battery. Battery fucking popped on it, caught it on fire. He was like, yep. Well, we were talking about it. We ended up reading through it. Now, here's the thing. The RG35xx itself is not what exploded in this picture. And you can't even tell where it is. Like, where's the 35xx? There's a bunch of other shit in here. Doesn't even look like a handheld. So, what actually happened was this guy apparently was getting ready for a road trip or something like that. I read it in the comments. He had snacks. He had everything he needed. Now, in this container, he had his RG35xx and a portable power supply. So like a battery pack for phones, electronics, I'm guessing also for his 35xx. The portable battery pack is what actually exploded. Now that exploded, caught fire to everything. Now exploded, I'm using that loosely. It more just, probably just burst, caught fire, did this. Now the guy is very, very lucky he didn't lose his car. I've been in vehicles that caught fire a few times now in my life, and they go up quick, and they don't fucking explode, okay? The loudest pop I've ever heard was when the actual battery in the vehicle caught fire and popped. Other than that, every vehicle I've ever been around that actually caught fire and burned to the ground, they never explode like the movies, guys. So when you see people talk about it in videos, it's probably not going to explode. Okay? It's not. So when they're like, get away, it's going to blow. No, it's not going to blow. It's not. You'll get a nice little fireworks show from the battery. That shit will pop and sparks will fly, but that's about it. Anyway, he got lucky he didn't lose his vehicle with this. But yeah, don't leave your electronics in a vehicle with the windows rolled up on a hot summer day. You know, I can't believe it was the battery pack that exploded. I also don't know how the fuck he knows it was the battery pack and not the 35XX. Unless he got there while the XX was burning, which, from the look of the limited damage, possibly. Now, this guy is also just a true gamer. True as shit. Because he said, a battery pack exploded in my car and melted my sweet boy while I was working. It also destroyed my going home snacks. That's what he was. He was getting ready to go home. My going home snacks and ruined my interior. But I'm maddest about losing my saves. Insurance can't fix that shit. That's a true gamer for you. He said, man, fuck the seats, fuck the snacks, fuck the battery pack. What about my save files? That sucks. Imagine being like 50 hours in a game. Towards the end, you're about to beat a game that you've been wanting to beat all your life. You're there. You're finally there. Boom. No backups of anything done. Now there's ways to let cloud save that shit. I've messed with it before. I don't think I've ever really implemented it, but maybe one of these days I'll look into it enough, set it up, and then do a video on how to cloud save all that shit so you could just use your save file across multiple devices. I say cloud save. It could be like more of a Google Drive thing for Android devices, so ignore the words I use. I'll say what I want to say. And here goes my camera. Look at it. Just walk off to the right, walk back to the left. Anyway. So, yeah, don't leave your devices in vehicles. Not like that. All right. Let me think what we got coming up for the channel this week. Hopefully tomorrow I should tomorrow have a DSi-LL. I picked one up for cheap on eBay because I wanted to just... It sounded too good to be true. Everything on this device, on this listing, looked perfect. The DSi looked perfect. And the LL is the Japanese XL. It looked immaculate. I could not figure out why this thing was as cheap as it was. There was, even the posting was like new. I think it comes with a box charger. So when I get it, I'm expecting like massive screen yellowing or it doesn't charge. Now, I am leaning towards, because it came from a U.S. seller, I am leaning towards it is in Japanese and the seller does not know how to get it in English. So I'm leaning towards that's why it was so cheap. I'm hoping, because it looked great. Let's see. What else do we got? And when I get that LL, if it's perfect, I'll do a video on it tomorrow, and I also want to pull out like the 040 and a DS Lite and do a real kind of good size screen comparison. And then tell you guys if the 040 is worth it versus an LL or XL. Still waiting on dual screen shit. Our Brick Hammer pre-order, which the moment that shit went up, we pre-ordered. The sponsor did. We pre-ordered 2 of them. And we've received multiple messages about delays and delays and delays and delays. And they're so sorry and delayed and delayed and delayed. So, don't know if they really exist or if they're a myth. I guess we'll find out eventually. The dual screen add-on is on the way, which, by the way, if you guys don't know, anbernic did an update for T820 devices to be more compatible with external screens, monitors, dual screen add-ons. Now, one of the things I've seen is they were showing this going, this has been updated for like dual screen devices and might work with the Retroid Pocket dual screen. I don't see that fitting very comfortably on this. That's not gonna work. So don't think that, everybody. And for those of you that are gonna hit the comments and be a dick about that, going, well, obviously, you know what? I've learned in my life that even if you think it's so damn obvious, you might as well say it, because somebody out there, it's not clicking with them. Okay, I think that's about it. We got some 3DSs showing up that need work. I might do that. I should do that on the channel. I'll do that on the channel. Got to get those set up. Like I said, DSIs on the way. Got to get those set up and compared. I can't think of anything else. Brick hammer, screen add-on, all the shit we've been waiting on forever. Doesn't feel like it's ever going to show up. All right, guys. I'm going to end it here. To the viewer that actually took the time to hunt me down the Retro Legion on Instagram and send me a message on there talking about chromatic stuff, you're awesome. Thanks for taking the time to do that. I'm probably not going to be as super active on Instagram as I am on here, but when I think about it, I'll post. I generally don't like Instagram, Facebook stuff. I don't do that shit. This is a stretch for me. End of the week. I will not be posting past Wednesday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll try and do a video each of those days, which of course Monday's done. Come Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you won't hear from me. I am taking a small vacation. It is my youngest son's birthday, and he told me he really just wants some quality time with me. He said he, just wants some father-son time. So I never take a vacation from my job. I haven't taken a vacation in like 13 years. So it's weird for me to do that, but that's what he wants, and that's what he's going to get. So I will not be posting on anything. I'm giving my son all the attention he wants for a 4-day weekend, and we're just gonna blow it out. We're gonna go nuts. We're gonna do everything he wants to do together. So for those of you still watching the video at this point, shout out to my son for his birthday coming up. His birthday's actually started next week, but I can't take that much time off my job. So everybody, do me a favor, say happy birthday Gray, Gray, like Gray Fox the Ninja. It was my gamer tag forever ago, and I gave it to my youngest son. I wanted him to embody the badassedness that was me back in the day gaming. So I know it's crazy. A lot of you are like, wow, really? But yes. So my youngest son's name is Gray, after Gray Fox, Metal Gear Solid. Everybody say happy birthday to Gray. And if you do, I will show him your comments, so you'll make that little boy's day. All right, guys. I will see you in the next one.